Hello, everybody. Today we are going to study chapter 2. Now we are begin our lesson.
Good afternoon.
Okay.
Good morning.
Morning.
Let's see. Good morning. Let's see chapter 2. Series of balance of payments. In Chinese, we can say 第二章国际收支平衡理论。Section 1. The elasticity approach to the balance of payments. In Chinese, we can say 第一节国际收支平衡的弹性分析方法。Section 1. The elasticity approach to the balance of payments. Let's see the definition of elasticity approach. Now, let's see the definition. The elasticity approach is a method of studying the effects of the currency depreciation or devaluation on the balance of international trade by means of elasticity analysis. From this definition of elasticity approach, we should see this is a method for studying the effects of currency depreciation on the balance of international trade by means of elasticity analysis. From this definition, we should understand this method this approach is a method by elasticity analysis. This approach provides analysis of what happens to the current account balance when the country devalues its currency. The central message of the elasticity approach is that there are two direct effects of a devaluation on the current balance, one of which works to reduce a deficit, whilst the other actually contributes to making the deficit worse than before. Let us consider these two effects in some details. Current account balance. From this page, we should understand what's the meaning of current account balance. Current account balance. In Chinese, we can say 经常账户余额. From the study material we have learned before, we should understand in international finance account, we should understand the current account balance we have learned. This page PPT tells us that if a country devaluates its currency or depreciate its currency, which will influence this country's current account balance. Because if a country devalue its currency, will influence this country's trade amount, means influence its export and import. Finally, influence this country's current account balance? Let's go up. The price elasticity of demand. The price elasticity of demand. We introduce two definitions. Let's see. The price elasticity of export demand expressed by Y1. We should understand this. Y1 means price elasticity of export demand. Y means the price elasticity of export demand refers to the ratio of the percentage change of export demand to the percentage change of price caused by exchange rate change. Let's see. The price elasticity of demand for imports expressed by Y2. We should understand Y2 means price elasticity of import demand is defined and the percentage change in imports over the percentage change in their price caused by exchange rate change. From this page of PPT, we should understand two definitions. What's the meaning of Y1? Y1 means price elasticity of import demand. And we should understand Y2. Y2 means price elasticity of demand for imports. Or we can say Y2 means price elasticity of import demand. Y1, Y2 is also caused by the exchange rate change. Means Y1, Y2 can be influenced by exchange rate vary. We should understand Y1, Y2. Let's see. Let's go on. Marshall-Lerner condition. Marshall-Lerner condition. What's the meaning of this? Let's see. Only if the sum of the foreign elasticity of demand for imports and the home country of demand for imports is greater than unity. That is, Y1 plus Y2 is more than 1. A devaluation will improve the current account. From this condition, we should understand Marshall-Lerner condition means if Y1 plus Y2 is over 1, means devaluation will improve the current account. In another word, we can say if a country want improve its current account, they can devaluate devaluate their country's currency. But if these countries' current account can be improved, must obey the Marshall-Lerner condition. That means y1 plus y2 must greater than 1. This country's devaluation of its currency will improve this country's current account. Otherwise, even if this country devaluates its currency, this action will not improve their current account. So we should understand Marshall-Lerner condition means if a country's price elasticity of export and price elasticity of imports, these two, y1 plus y2 must greater than 1. This country's currency devaluation can improve its current account. If the sum, let's go up. If the sum of these two elasticity is less than unity, then a devaluation will lead to a deterioration of the current account. This is known as the Marshall-Lerner condition. From this page, we should understand if a country wants to change their current account position, this country's current account must obey the Marshall-Lerner condition. If this country's current account, or in another word, we can say if this country's price elasticity of export, price elasticity of imports must be obey y1 plus y2 greater than 1. This country's currency devaluation can improve their country's current account. Otherwise, this country's currency devaluation will deteriorate this country's current account. Let's see Marshall-Lerner condition. Marshall-Lerner condition. This page read by Chinese. 这是西方经济理论中的一项重要内容，由英国经济学家 A. 马歇尔和美国经济学家 P. 勒纳揭示的一国货币贬值与该国贸易收支改善程度的关系。他所要表明的是，如果一国处于贸易逆差中，即 Vx 小于 Vm，Vx、Vm 分别代表出口总额和进口总额，会引起本币贬值。一国货币相对于他国货币贬值，能否改善该国的贸易收支状况，主要取决于贸易商品的需求和供给弹性。具体来说，就是是否满足 马歇尔纳条件。因此，理解马歇尔纳条件对一国制定正确的贸易汇率的政策，推动本国贸易、融资发展有着重要理论意义和实践指导意义。Let's go back. From this page of PPT, we showed us that if a country want change this country's current account, this country export and import condition must obey Marshall-Lerner condition. Otherwise, if this country devaluate its currency, this action will deteriorate this country's current account. If this country obey Marshall-Lerner condition, this country devalue its current account, valuation, devaluate its currency, will improve this country's current account. Let's see the note. Marshall-Lerner condition reviewed by British economist A. Marshall and American economist A.P. Lerner about the relationship between the depreciation of a country's currency and the degree of improvement in the country's trade balance. From this note, we should understand if a country want change its current account, or in another word, if this country want to change its trade balance, this country want to get the surplus of trade balance. They can use the method of depreciating its currency. If this country depreciates its currency, this action will influence this country's trade condition. Finally, will make this country's trade balance change. If this country has a deficit of trade balance before, from this action, after this action, this country's trade balance will change. Finally, get to surplus or trade balance. If this country won't get this result, this country's trade condition must obey Marshall-Lerner condition. Let's go on. Two sorts of effects. There are three possible scenarios following devaluation and two effects in play once a currency is devalued. First, the price effect. Price effect. In Chinese, we can say this green digit is 价格效应. The price effect. In Chinese, we can say 价格效应. Exports become cheaper, measured in foreign currency. Imports become more expensive, measured in the home currency. Let's see the note. Scenario means situations or possibilities. From this page, we should understand that once a currency is devalued, there are two effects will emerge. First effect is the price effect. If a country devalue its currency, exports become cheaper, measured by in foreign currency. Imports become more expensive, measured in the home currency. From this paragraph, we should understand when a country devaluates its currency, this country's exports will become cheaper, measured in foreign currency. This will exert its this country's export become more and more, and this action will restrict this country's imports. This country's imports will become smaller and smaller. So, devaluation of currency will influence one country's trade conditions or trade balance. Let's see the second effect. The volume effect. The volume effect, the fact that export become cheaper, should encourage and increase the volume of imports. And the fact that import become more expensive should lead to a decreased volume of imports. From the second effect, volume effect, we should understand. One, a country depreciate its currency, there will be a fact emerge that import become cheaper. So to encourage this country export. Finally, these countries export volume will increase. And another result that this country imports become more expensive. Finally lead to this country's import volume or import amount will decrease. This page of PPT tells us that the volume effect. What's the meaning of volume effect? Let's go on. The net effect depends upon whether the price or volume effect dominates. A general consensus accepted by most economists is that elasticities are lower in the short run than in the long run, in which case the Marshall-Lerner conditions may only hold in the medium to long run. This page tells us that in the short run, the net effect is lower than in the long run. So Marshall-Lerner conditions may only hold in the medium to long run. Means Marshall-Lerner conditions, if this country obey the Marshall-Lerner conditions from devaluating its currency, will lead to a net effect. In the short run, we will have small effects, and in the long run, the effects will large. Let's go on. The J curve. What is a J-curve? A J-curve is a trend line that shows an initial loss immediately. Followed by a dramatic gain in the chart. This pattern of activity will follow the shape of a capital J. J means capital J. A J-curve is a trend line that shows a initial loss immediately, followed by dramatic gain in the chart. This pattern of activity would follow the shape of capital J, means trend line shape like a capital J. Let's go on. This figure means trend line. Let's see. The horizontal axis is time. 1 point move from the original point to the right, means time became longer. And the vertical axis means current account. When a country make its currency devaluation, this action will influence this country's current account. At the beginning time, we can say this country's current account become worse and worse. Let's see. With the time delay, this country's current account become worse and worse, and reach the lowest point, that become better and better. Then this trend line, like capital J. Let's see. This figure, this curve, like a capital J. So we call this curve as J curve. Let's see. Above the horizontal axis means this country's current account is surplus. And below the horizontal axis means this country's current account is deficit. Let's see. Below the level line, means deficit. Above the level line means surplus. So when a country use devaluation of currency, will lead to this country's account at the beginning become worse and worse. Then with the time become long and long. This trend line will become better and better. So we call this curve is J-curve effect. Let's see the figure 2.1, the J-curve effect. From this figure, we should understand what's the meaning of this figure. Let's go on. We can see from the J-curve means the J-curve effect. J-curve effect is often cited in economics to describe, for instance, the way that a country's balance of trade initially worsens following devaluation of its currency, then quickly recovers and finally surpasses its previous performance. From this page of PPT, we should understand when a country wants to change its currency, its current account, if this country has a deficit in the current account, this country want to change this position, want to change this situation. That this country take a policy to depreciate its currency. But when this activity take place at the beginning time, this country's current account will become worse. Or in another word, we can say this country's account initially worsened. But after a period of time, the worst situation will become well. In another word, we can say will recover and finally surpass its previous performance. Means when a country take a policy to devaluation this country's value, this country's currency value, this activity will make this country's current account become worse and worse at the beginning. But after a period of time, this country's current account will become better and better. Finally, surpass this country's current account previous performance. This country's current account change the curve as a trend line like the capital J. So we can describe this J curve and the J curve effect. Let's see note. J curves are observed in other fields, including medicine and political science. In each case, it depicts an initial loss followed by significant gain to a level that exceeds the starting point. This note tells us the J-curve not only used in trade balance or in trade account or in current account, and this J-curve can be used, can be applied in another field, such as medicine manufacture and political science. Let's go up. It's depict an initial loss followed by significant gain to a level that exceeds the starting point. Let's go up. Why the balance of payments is shaped like this shape of J? Shaped like this shape of J. Let's see what's meaning of this sentence. There have been numerous reasons advanced to explain the slow responsiveness of export and import volumes in the short run, and why the response is far greater in the long run. In the short run and in the long run, in short run and in long run are the opposite situation. We can get conclusions and conclusion from the J-curve. When a country take a policy will make the situation become worse and worse at the beginning, but after the period of time, this worse situation will become better and better. Finally surpass the point, the beginning point. In another word, we can say, in a short run, the situation will become worse. But in the long run, this situation will become better. Finally, get the best situation. We can explain the phenomenon from three most important reasons. A time lag in consumer response, a time lag in producer response, imperfect competition. We should understand why the current account will get the shape of J, because we can plan the phenomenon from three most important reasons: a time lag in consumer response, a time lag in producer response, imperfect competition. From the three reasons, we can explain why the current account changed like the shape J? Because 3 reasons: time lag in consumer response, a time lag in producer response, imperfect competition. Because of the three causes, makes the current account change like the shape J. So we should till now we should understand the J curve, the meaning of J curve. Let's go on. Section 2. The absorption approach to the balance of payments. In Chinese, we can say 第2节国际收支平衡的吸收分析方法。The definition of absorption approach. Absorption approach. Let's see the definition. Absorption approach is to explain the balance of payments theory from the perspective of the relationship between output and expenditure of a national income. This absorption approach means we can use this method to explain the balance of payments theory from the perspective of the relationship between output and expenditure of national income. In other words, we can say we can use this absorption approach to explain output and demand and expenditure demand. Let's go on. Absorption is expenditure. We should understand absorption. Absorption means this place absorption means expenditure, which refers to the total expenditure of a country's residents to purchase goods and services. We should understand absorption in this paragraph. It means expenditure. Means one country's residents to purchase goods and services. Means the total amount of a country's residents to purchase goods and services. This method is also known as the balance of payments expenditure analysis. Certainly, the absorption analysis also can call balance of payments expenditure analysis. Let's note absorption approach. Absorption approach refers to the analysis of how the country's balance of payments appears and how the exchange rate level is determined from the perspective of expenditure. or absorption and income. Think that if a country's real income exceeds its absorption of goods and services, the country will have a trade surplus. Let's see the note. Let's see appendix. 基础分析法 absorption approach 又名支出分析法，于1952年詹姆斯·爱德华·美德 James Edward Meade 1907 to 1995 和希德尼图斯特亚历山大 Sidney Seward Alexander 提出，在凯恩斯的宏观经济学的基础上，从国民收入和总需求的角度，系统研究货币贬值政策的宏观均衡分析。他从凯恩斯的国民收入方程式入手，着重考察总收入与总支出对国际收支的影响，并在此基础上提出国际收支调节的相应政策主张。This method means absorption approach. Let's go on. The contents of absorption approach. The contents of absorption approach. According to Keynes' equation of national income balance, Y equals C plus I plus D plus bracket X minus M. This equation we call as 2.1. Let's see the note. Y means national income. Y means national income. C means consumption. I refer to investment. D refer to government purchases. Government purchases. X means exports. M means imports. In Keynes' equation, we should understand the capital Y, capital C, capital I, capital G, capital X, capital M. We should understand these capitals' meaning. Given in the notes. Let's go on. And defining domestic absorption as A equals C plus I plus D. Here we should see the capital A. The capital A means domestic absorption. A equals C plus I plus G. C plus I plus D. Then we can get NX equal X minus M equal Y minus A. From equation 2.2, we should understand NX can equal x plus m, and nx also can equal y minus a. Let's see note. nx means net exports. A is domestic absorption, also can be regarded as domestic expenditure. So from this note, we should understand absorption in this equation. We can also regard it as domestic expenditure. In another word, we can say absorption equal expenditure, or we can say absorption means expenditure. Let's go on. We can get conclusion from 2.2. When y is greater than a, total income is greater than total absorption. There will be net export greater than 0. Trade surplus. From the equation 2.2, we can get if one country's national income y over absorption a, means total income is greater than total absorption. So this country will be get a net import. Will be get a net import greater than 0. So this country has a trade surplus. In opposite situation, one y is less than a, total income is less than total absorption. There will be net export less than 0. Trade deficit. From the second segment, we should understand when these countries' international income y less than a means this country's total income is less than total absorption. So this country must import goods and services to satisfy this country's residents and enterprise demands. So this country's import will become greater than export. Finally, get a trade deficit. Let's see third equation. When y equal a, balance of payments comes true. Namely, international trade balance equal 0. And the third equation, y equal a, means this country's real national income equal absorption, domestic absorption, means y equal a. In another word, we can say these countries export equal import. So this country will get a trade balance, means is not trade surplus and not trade deficit. Really, the balance or we can say trade balance equal 0 means export equal import. At this situation, we can say this country has a shared balance. Students, that's all for today's new class. That's all for today's new class. At the
Okay.
recap,
Mhm.
students, don't leave this class until 11:55.
Okay.
At the
And
right time, you can go over what we have learned today. Okay.
okay. And teacher, I have one question. I texted in chat.
You speak. What do you want to ask me?
Does government debt affect have a big effect national income?
Okay. I can't hear what you said clearly.
I
Can
said
you write your question in our WeChat?
Okay. I sent it.
Okay, I have seen your question.